nobody did it like this, so they wonder, they asking me if I can slow it down.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Sports Card Talk. We are back in action. Shaya in the house, Coleman cards in the house. First off, guys, how was your Christmas?
Go for it, Shaya.
Pretty solid. Thank you, Sash. How was your Christmas?
It was good. Why don't you tell the people what you're working on most of Christmas?
I was working on college applications most of Christmas Day. It was a busy day, not very relaxing, but it was much needed.
I feel. What about you, Coleman? How was your Christmas?
It was fantastic. I came back to Arizona to hang over at my brother's house with his wife and his 2 kids, and it's fantastic, man. Watching the kids run around and enjoy Christmas, and also get to hang out with family. Couldn't ask for anything more.
It feels like since people were like hanging around the house, there was like more deals going down, just in the card world in general. I don't know if you guys had that same experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of sales and trades and stuff over the last couple of days, which I didn't think would happen. I kind of wanted to just like not do a lot of business over the last couple of days, but like I literally just, had a lot of stuff come across, and, it was quick and easy, and, everyone was really smooth and stuff. So I didn't see it, but I'm happy to do it as well.
So the first thing I want to jump into is the Grizzlies versus Hawks game, Ja versus Trae Young. I think that's like a sports card investor's dream game almost, just because it seems like if one person likes Trae, they don't like Ja, and if one person likes Ja, they don't like Trae. But what did you overall take away from the game in general, from an investing card aspect and also just from a fan perspective?
Overreaction, Trae is really clutch. He's smart. He knows what to do to get fouls called. He's a great shooter, obviously. And if he can get to the free throw line, he's a knockdown free throw shooter. So, Trae's really good.
What about you, Shaya?
Yeah, as you know, I've been up with a college app, so I've been pretty busy. I did see the game. I've been talking with several people. I know Trae and Ja had the big first game, so I think that was kind of even at the beginning. And once that matchup happened, it was kind of like the tiebreaker, I want to say. I have honestly been surprised by Ja this year. I did not think he'd be doing as well as he is. So that does come to a surprise to me. But yeah, I believe in Trae more than Ja.
It was funny. So I was at Burbank yesterday, and before the game started, I was getting some prices to sell some stuff to Ryan, and a lot of it was Trae Young, and like he was buying base at like I think 580, and I was like, okay, cool, like I'll think about it. Blah blah blah. Went outside, did some deals out there. Coleman, since you weren't there, I was just grabbing everything.
It's feasting.
But then I went back in, and honestly, I didn't even know the Hawks and Grizzlies were playing, and I saw it on they had like a little laptop, and they were playing the game, and they were like, yeah, Trae's got 20, like he's playing good, blah blah blah. Ja's playing good. I was like, okay, actually, like let me wait till this like game ends and like see what happens. And then all of a sudden, Trae's going off, drops like 30, whatever. And then I go back to Ryan, and I sold him some other stuff. That I was like, I'm gonna hold off on the trades. He just balled. He said, okay. Came back home, drove home, hour and a half, came home. Guy hits me up, yo, I'll take 3 at like 635 per direct. And I was like, okay, cool. So I think that was just like a pure example of like a reactionary game where just now people are all hyped up on Trae. And I think that's why, again, last time, Coleman, me and you talked how we were saying that Trae might have the most room in his card versus Zion, let's say. And I think this is kind of giving a pure example of it, where like if Trae continues to win games, and we've talked about this in earlier episodes, if he can start to win games, like his prices could get up there, just because we didn't see that last year with him.
Well, especially because Ja Prizm prices and Zion Prizm prices rising, right? So we've seen it like a million times where it's like once these boats all rise, the other ones go up too.
Yep.
What's interesting though is we're seeing the Luka kind of top out right at like 1900, 1850, 1900, even though it was just at 2000, touching over 2000 and stuff. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think, we're going to watch Trae just go up to like 750, 800 here. And then who knows from there.
You buying Trae, Shaya, right now? What's the word?
I'm
You're
just holding.
You still have some Zions, right?
I have the silver 10. I do have the silver 10. I have 3 true gem bases. I'm holding those for now. I think Zion, I don't even think he's done that good in season yet. But I think he's going to show out in a little bit. And I'm only holding 4 trays. I was planning on moving him. Some guy was like, yeah, I'll take him at 550. But then he was like, yeah, goods. And then I was like, okay, no, you have to cover the fee. And then he was like, no, I'm just not going to do it. I was like, okay, fine. So worked out in my favor.
Coleman, you touched on Luka, and I want to get into like his base price point a bit. You did mention it did hit 2,000 on eBay, then kind of went back down. It just seems like he isn't. First off, I just don't think he has enough help around him. I think the Porzingis Luka dynamic does work if Porzingis is healthy, and I think you can just see from the games that they're playing is like having Porzingis not there is hurting a lot. Also, like, I don't know why they got rid of Seth Curry. Like, I was very confused about that too. Like, he in that team last year played very, very well. So I was confused about that. So I think that with Luka right now, with his price point at 1,900, that is a lot of money to get into on a base card. And at the same time, they don't have essentially their full team back. So I think there's going to be some roadblocks over the next, 10, 15 games until Porzingis gets back.
So what you're saying is you think the Hawks will have a better record than the Mavericks?
I'm not saying that. No, I'm just saying that I think that Luka is a little bit out of shape, so it's gonna take a couple games for him to get back into shape. And I just think that they gotta, their team's not going to be fully there until Porzingis gets back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I agree, and what I'm seeing the same things, but overreaction. Luka didn't have time to really prepare for the season. He was in Slovenia; it was shut down. He would have had a lot more time to work out with these new teammates and a lot of practices, right? They weren't even allowed to practice together. I know that was going around the league. I don't know if that is exactly what happened with the Mavericks, but I pay close attention to the Suns. And, during their media days, listening to Chris Paul talk about how he can't even practice with the other players, even though everybody's there, because they're just like, following social distancing and really trying to beat this COVID thing. So Luka hasn't had any time to get to really play with James Johnson, to get to really play with Josh Richardson, to get to play with these pieces in this new team that has been assembled. And I would absolutely bet on Luka figuring it out, getting in better shape, and the team performing a lot better, even as currently assembled. But yeah, I mean, it's,
the question is his price is at 1,900, let's say right now on eBay. Mm-hmm. What does that get to, let's say, when Porzingis is healthy, everything's clicking and they're just going on a run?
It's just hard to say because, look, there's 15,000 in the population, but there's a lot more people in the market looking for the card and trying to get the card. But that also means that the supply is always going to be there. We're always going to see plenty of sales on eBay every day. We're always going to see people seeing the card go from 1,600 to 1,800 and immediately make Instagram story posts saying, hey, I'm selling mine for 1,800 per, who wants to buy one? Because at the end of the day, $1,800, $2,000 is a lot of money. And it is money that you can use for all kinds of things, not just sports cards. So with a population of 15,000 and with as many people that are in the hobby as they are, the supply is always going to be there. So it's really hard to say what that card will go up to. But yeah, if the Mavericks are balling out, Porzingis is balling out, the team's clicking, there's highlights everywhere, they're getting into like that top 3, top 4 seed or something like that because everything's working. No reason why that card can't go up to like 2,500, 2,800. I don't know.
I want to bring Shaya you into this. Would you rather be buying, let's say, a Luka at 1,900, 1,850, or let's just say like 3 or 4 trays at whatever it is right now, 600 per? Because I think the thinking right now in the current market is that, and my thinking too is like, Trey might have some more room right now.
Yeah, to make some quick money. I would take the trays Just because, okay, the Luka, if he starts clicking, I think it could get to maybe 2,500, maybe. That's what, $600.
Mhm.
If you're to buy those 4 trays, let's say, or 3 or 4 trays, whatever it is, I think you can make that 600 a lot easier. I think it's going to be a lot harder with the Luka, because I think that 200 is kind of like a resistance. In stocks, there's a resistance, and it keeps trying to hit that and break, but it's a little different. And I think that's kind of the stigma is, okay, the Luka, it's going to peak at 2,000. And I think that's what's going on. While the trade doesn't have that yet. It doesn't have that peak.
Yeah. So I mean, like, a lot of the questions we have been getting in have been really based around Luka. I think there's a lot of Luka investors and stuff. Like you said, Coleman overreacting a bit. We got questions like, how do you feel about Luka coming in a little chunky? Stuff like that. And
we
honestly,
talked about this. Go ahead. I was going to say we talked about this a little bit a couple of days ago, which is I don't think Luka's chunky. I think Luka's a tank. Like I think he's really strong and he's beasting dudes.
Yeah, I love it when he gets into, and we talked about this before, when he gets into the lane and then he can just either dish right for a 3, or he has the skill set to get around these big men and make the shot. So I think and he's so big where like he can get into the lane and like just bulldoze people.
Luka can do whatever he wants on the floor offensively.
Yeah. Like 100%. Zion too. Zion looks smaller than I thought. I don't know.
I want him to get smaller.
But like height wise, like height wise, it's like interesting. He's like almost a hybrid in a way. But I want to jump into, like, since these last couple games, what currently is your mindset after seeing the market since the season started? What are you kind of thinking over the next, 20 games of what you're doing in the investment world? What are your thoughts going to? Is it going to, okay, let me keep playing the young guy game? Are we going, let me look at where nobody else is looking and going for, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, because they're going to be in the Hall of Fame or in the ceremony is going to be in April. Like what's kind of your mindset, guys?
I'm interested in Shaya's take on this.
So yeah, I've been still trying to go after LeBrons and Kobe's. I've DM'd so many people trying to get deals for true gems, min gems, 9s, 10s. I've just DM'd so many people, and it's just not panned out yet. I'm still looking for Kobe's. I think a lot of people are looking for that top scrum, and I've noticed that it's actually gone up. I've sent a couple offers through my slabs to someone based on last comp. Last comp was like 2,900 on a 9, I believe, top scrum Kobe. And I set 2,900 and he countered 34. So, yeah. I'm still looking for those 2 guys. Regarding the young guys, though, what I realized is I need to send my PSA stuff out ASAP. I saw that I did not know draws were as much as they are now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I need to send this on a 5 or a 10-day and just get them back.
I'm of the mindset that, like, the 10 days the new 20, where, like, if you want it back within season, you have to 10-day it. Because if you do 20...
Yeah, but like with Jaws, I don't want them through season. I want them back now.
Yeah, so you're either 5-daying or 10-daying. I did
just more expensive.
I would send them in like now, though, because I did hear that January 2nd, PSA is going to be increasing prices again. Yeah. And I don't know how much or what service levels. And I know some subbers are actually stopping their subs because they don't know what's going to be happening either. So if you can get them in like now, like that would be the play. I want to shift gears a little bit. Somebody's asking, Kevin Durant is looking fantastic, but there isn't that much hype on Kyrie cards right now, but he's also playing great. What is kind of the move there? Kyrie's from the notorious 2012 Prizm. Has a 2012 Prizm rookie card. That's his rookie year. I don't know exactly what his base 10s go for.
1,000, 1,100, 1,200.
1,000,
probably 11 or 12 now that he's balling out.
Gotcha. So is that something that you're looking at? I know some people are, they don't like Kyrie for any which reason. I don't really have a problem with Kyrie at all, really. I'm of the mindset if he's balling on the court, and he's balling out on the court. But are you guys looking to pick up Kyrie just because the Nets look so good? And then my second question would be, do you think that people in the hobby don't have as much respect for Kyrie's cards because maybe they don't? He's so unpredictable, I guess people think.
Real quick, just to fix myself a little bit here, it's actually 1350 to 1400 now is what Kyrie's are doing as of yesterday. So
okay, so they were 1,000 maybe a couple weeks ago.
1400 is basically the new price. Like there's ones in auction at 1300 with a couple days left and stuff. So 1400 is looking like what they are worth now, 1350, 1400. So they have risen from $1,000, almost 40%.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. The Nets look really good. Like, so I think it is a simple notion of like, hey, look, I know everybody's hot on KD cards, but what about Kyrie?
I would say, and I said this a little bit about KD, I think a couple days ago, that the play was to make your bet. Like if you want to experience like the really cool game, like the really cool, hey, look, I bought this card for $1,000 2 weeks ago. Now it's worth 1,400. If you really want to experience that, you got to make bets. You got to say, hey, look, everyone hates Kyrie right now. Everyone's unsure if the Nets are going to be good. I'm going to take a bet, and I'm going to bet that Kyrie's going to go up because it's only $1,000 compared to Damian Lillard, who's 1,300 or 1,400, compared to Anthony Davis or compared to whichever guy from 2012 Prizm. That being said, even at 1,400, if the Nets keep balling out, the card's going to go up. Like that could be a $2,000 card, But again, it's just the bet was to make, that was you should have made your bet, and if you didn't, you can still do it. It's just be wary. Like if you buy it at 1,400, and then he comes out and has 10 points and 8 assists, but they still win or something, and people were like, I really liked it when he was scoring a lot of points, and then that card goes back down to 1,250 or something. Then understand, you were buying because people saw it. But that being said, I think we're going to see Kyrie go up a little bit. Am I buying it? I mean, again, I already have some Kyrie Prizms. I've been playing around with Kyrie Prizms all off season and stuff. If I can find it for the right deal, sure. But, I'm not exactly picking up Kyrie stuff, really trying to get after it just because there's no collectors and people hate the guy.
What about you, Shaya?
Yeah, I'm not picking up Kyrie.
Don't like him?
Yeah, I'm just not doing it. I've never been a fan of Kyrie personally. I think that there's already this stigma about Kyrie, and I'm also not. I may get some hate right now, but I'm not sold on KD. KD
you never liked KD.
No. I actually like KD.
You don't like his prices.
No, it's not even the prices. I don't have faith that he can stay healthy. That is where because I think he's gone up so much, so fast, especially throughout the past 6 to 12 months, that if he gets injured, I don't think it'll be pretty. We saw what happened with Kawhi. Kawhi got injured the other day, and that was not a pretty by any means, but that's not a season-ending injury. So yeah, I'm not picking up Kyrie. I would personally rather pick up Paul George over Kyrie right now.
But the Paul George card to get is weird because he's in that weird year. He's 2011, right? I'm pretty sure he's from the 2011.
He's 2010, 2011.
So he's in that weird year where he doesn't really
There's no rookie cards except for National Treasures and a Panini rookie card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
isn't Clay the same? And isn't Clay's rookie considered the 2012?
Clay is from 2011, so he has 2012 because those two classes, 2011 and 2012, were put together, and they're both in 2012. So 2012 is loaded with rookies.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know a while back I was like, damn, what is Paul George rookie card? And I tried to look into it and I couldn't find shit. And then it was in that weird year where it was tops the year before, and then 2012 Prizm, and it was just.
But
funky.
That's why we're seeing the 2012 Prizm base card of Paul George go. Yeah, because it's that's his first Prizm card.
Yeah,
it's not a rookie though.
Shai, you talked about KD a little bit. I did see the KD. I don't know. You guys probably saw it too. The KD refractor 10s. Undisclosed if they actually sold or not, but right around $25K. I know for a fact a private buyer did buy one for $24,000. KD refractor PSA 10. What do you think about that price point? I'm of the mindset of like, hey, look, if he's balling, he's playing good, and he continues to play the way he's playing, like that can continue to go up. I think Coleman, you talked about earlier, like it would have been easier if you just made your bet before season, because I was talking to the seller of that card, and he bought that card, that KD refractor, for $3,000 back in March, and now he's selling it for $24,000. So like, my question is, where do you see KD's cards going if he continues to play the way he's playing?
Well, look, I'm going to draw it back to, a video you made talking about Trae Young after Trae Young prices went up. Basically, you were saying something along the lines of, if you're buying Trae Young at these prices, you're making a bet that the Hawks are going to ball and they're going to make the playoffs. Now, we saw Trae Young stuff correct a little bit, but now it's rushing back up just after 2 games. So you were like half right? Basically, like Trae Young had to come out and perform, and that's what he's doing. So if you're buying this stuff for Kevin Durant right now, and I'll answer the question, which is, where do I see it going? But if you're buying this stuff for Kevin Durant right now, you're believing that it's going to continue to go up, and you've already checked out the Kevin Durant Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10, compared it to the LeBron, compared the Pops, compared other LeBron and KD cards, compared KD to, because that's the comp, is you're comparing it to LeBron. 2 of the best players that have Topps Chrome rookie cards, not Prizm. And the Pops are pretty similar, I think. I think they're like 150 for LeBron, 150 for KD. Mm-hmm. So you're betting now, and a LeBron, I think, is an auction at 65.
Because I'm getting 2 different things of like, people are saying, well, what are LeBron refractor 10s truly worth right now?
60, 65. I mean, but like, we're going to see them go up past that. I know of an 80K private sale because of that 106 public sale that wasn't real.
Yeah.
So it's like, people don't know.
Yeah.
But what's the true value? If I had to guess, it would be 60, 65K, but there's one at 65K in auction. So that might go for 75. That might go for 80. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But right now the price is basically whatever someone's willing to sell it for, that you're willing to pay,
Yeah.
But anyway, to get back to your question real quick, I'll just answer it real fast. Where do I see KD stuff going? I see it continuing to go up because people still aren't 100% on KD, aka Shaya. Like, he needs to come out and keep balling and do really well, and the Nets need to just go on a crazy tear, be the number 1 seed, and be like 25-5 or something like that for people to really start seeing it. But also too, even if they do that, his prices might not go up because the price might already be built in. It might already be baked into that. So we don't know for sure. So we could think that they're going to continue to go up as long as they ball out, or we could say, oh, they're not going to go up. They're just going to sustain, and then they're going to go up if they ball out in the playoffs. At the end of the day, none of us actually know. But my bet would be that they're going to go up a little bit more as people see the comps and see like, okay, they are selling for that. There are people buying them for that. I'm willing to spend that much because there is so much money in the market right now, and people want the next thing. They want the next champion if it's not going to be LeBron. And that's why we're going to see LeBron stuff go up too, because people think it's LeBron.
Yeah. What do you think, Shaya? You just not into the whole KD thing. Do you think that at 24,000, a KD refractor 10 is a market, a normal market price? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I just wouldn't spend 24K on it.
I understand.
I would rather spend my money elsewhere. And I think one big thing contributing to the KD market is going to be the LeBron market. I think because LeBron is going to go up, people are going to say, okay, KD's is cheaper, is undervalued, quote unquote, and he's going to keep rising. But I think that's only if he sustains a certain level of performance. And if he dips below that or gets injured, it's going to drop. Because I think right now, as Coleman was saying, we don't know if it's built in, if people think he's going to win the chip. I think that's already built in personally. I think people are expecting him to go to at least the conference finals, to go to the chip. And I think that's built in. So I wouldn't expect massive growth from the KD. I would only expect massive growth is if LeBron start popping off and they're going crazy. And then people are like, oh, wait, well, KD has stayed the same for 3 months and he's still balling out and he's going to go to the chip. So
that's a great point. I just want to jump on that and say, like, okay, so if a LeBron is 65 and a KD is, can we call 25? Well, if KD wins the championship, and let's say KD plays LeBron in the championship and wins, and now KD did it on his own team, right, in Brooklyn, gets his third ring, third finals MVP. What is that card now?
What's
30?
the pop on it?
I think
Let's say they're both 150.
I think it would drop initially and go back up, just like it happens every time after a chip.
The one thing I will say is this: with the whole fractional ownership thing, I really think that the KD refractors, the Kobe refractors, the LeBron refractors, I think that those prices we're going to be seeing a lot of growth, nonetheless, if they're playing good or bad over the next, 2 years. So I think that if, let's say, KD wins a championship this year, and it's already at, let's say, 25K, that card being 40K doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
But I don't see that being 40K and the LeBron staying at 65.
No.
So up to 40, that'll go up to 80.
Yeah. So the LeBron, again, I think the whole fractional ownership thing is really going to shake up these price points. Nonetheless, if the LeBron is playing good or playing bad, KD's playing good or playing bad, I think that those cards are going to see a really good growth just because so many people want to get a piece of it. A lot of people did think, I'm pretty sure Coleman LeBron refractor 10s were 100K until people found out that it wasn't, right?
Correct. So there was, I forget the IG account. I wish I could give some reference here. But there's an IG account that basically posted that same card sold 3 times through PWCC and it hadn't been paid on any of them. And that 106 sale was not anything different. So that card didn't get paid for. But
people thought it did, right?
Yeah, because it was a comp.
Yeah. So for me, that tells me, okay, that's not so far-fetched where people think that it's fake. People thought it was real.
It went from 55 to 106. That was the comp, 55 to 106.
Oh, well, that's insane.
So there was 2 comps at 55, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, 106.
Yeah, I think if the I think MJ, LeBron, Kobe, all those cards are going to see great growth over the next 2 years. I think if an MJ Fleer 10 is what 200, 220, and that's a pop what card for a
310, 330.
So I think if a LeBron refractor getting to the 100K mark, that makes reasonable sense to me.
Yeah. I believe it. It is the card. And look, when that card goes to 100, when a KD refractor goes to 40, all it makes me think is, what are the other amazing KD rookie cards that you could get for that amount of money or even less that will go up? But at the end of the day, that can bite you in the butt too, because we forget that it's a different market. It's investor driven. They just want the card. They don't care that, there's an exquisite 1 of 1 or something. Oh, okay, well, who cares? We just want the Topps Chrome refractor. We're not going to put the time into it. So, yeah, it makes me think of that, but it's just a different market. It's hard to predict.
I agree with you. I think that with the whole investor world coming in, they don't necessarily want to learn the whole niche of the card collecting community. So do they really want patch autos or stuff like that? I don't really know.
Right. They don't want a Hoops Hot Prospects patch auto of KD. They just don't.
They want the Topps Chrome. They want the Topps Chrome refractor. And I think that makes sense. And I think those are the cards that are going to be seeing the most demand for the future.
Absolutely.
But we're going to end it there today. I appreciate everybody listening. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you're following us on there. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, number 1. You like this video, and then you comment below with any questions and what you agreed and disagreed with. I appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you in the next video / podcast.
She want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key. You gotta slow it down, girl, you moving too fast for me. Nobody did it like this, so they wonder, they asking me if I can slow it down, cause it's coming too fast for me.